All right, this video is going to be about CVT transmissions, specifically about how to maintenance them, or I wouldn't say how, but how often to maintenance them, how to keep them going long. They have a reputation for being unreliable. Is that true? So on and so forth. If you want, I can make another video explaining what are CVT transmissions, but this one's just going to be about when you should maintenance it. CVT transmissions started becoming a thing like really in like the late 2000s. I know Ford came out with one. There were a few people experimenting with them, and then Nissan started using them in all of their cars, and they got a pretty bad reputation really fast. So I think at first, yeah, there was a little bit of the, oh, this is a new thing, we're not sure how long it's gonna last, etc. But I think that people, like, when you buy a car, again, I've said this before, they don't tell you what the maintenance is. Like, they expect you to go up and read about it, but it's like, realistically, how many people are gonna read the entire owner's manual of their car? Because half of it's just disclaimers and warnings anyway. So here you go. If you have a CVT transmission, continuously variable transmission, and this is in a lot of cars now, it's actually like just as common, if not more common, than a regular automatic transmission. So you should look up what your car has. If you don't know, put it in the comments and I'll try to help you out. If you have a CVT, change that fluid every 30,000 miles. So I'll give you an example. The Nissan Versa transmission. My wife has a Nissan Versa Note, and those transmissions are notoriously unreliable. The last shop I worked at, I mean, we had Nissan Versas coming in with like under 100,000 miles that wouldn't move. Like the transmission was just toast. It was done. And we had to push it into the shop. The car had to get towed there. When you put it in drive, nothing happened. So, you know, these transmissions are way more sensitive to you needing to do the maintenance, which is most of the time changing the fluid and sometimes filters. So CVTs are way more sensitive to that than regular automatic transmissions. But I still do think they can be reliable. I know this isn't a ton of miles, but my wife's Nissan Versa Note has somewhere around 175,000 miles on it, and the transmission still works perfectly fine. It doesn't do anything weird. It doesn't make me think it's gonna go out soon. When I started working on her car, I think she had around 50,000 miles. I changed that fluid at 60. So with all my other videos and my car maintenance stuff, I don't really track mileage. I just go by the odometer. So if I got the car at 50,000, you know, I'll just do it at 60 and then 90 and then 120, 150, 180, so on and so forth. And it kind of loops at 300,000. So what I do with her car is I change the fluid, just do a regular old drain and fill at every 30,000 miles, so at 30,000, and then every 60,000, so at 60, 120, 180, and I'm coming up on doing another one of these, is I take the transmission pan off, I change the screen in there. It's just kind of like a screen for particles and for debris, and on the side of this specific Nissan transmission CVT, there is like a paper filter, like a cylindrical filter, very similar to like a car's oil filter. So I change both filters and drop the pan and I wipe out the bottom of the transmission pan because it gets a lot of junk in there. And there's also a magnet in almost all vehicles I've taken over a transmission. There's a magnet in there, and it gets loaded up with like metal dust that just accumulates from a transmission working over time. This tiniest metal particles, and it's just stuck to this magnet. So I think it's great to take the pan off, if it has a pan to take off, and clean the magnets out. A lot of Toyotas now use a CVT transmission. A lot of Hondas use it. Kia has a CVT. A Mitsubishi, Nissan still uses them in almost all of their cars. I think their trucks still have regular automatics, but the American brands, I'm sure they do it as well. I'm not sure about the German brands, but I know it's very common, so just look it up. And change that fluid every 30,000. And if you have serviceable filters, change those every 60,000 and take off the pan if it has one. I just did my friend's 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross and had a CVT transmission. And that doesn't have any serviceable filter. Like, it has a filter, but it's not meant to be serviced, and it's not easy to get to. So we just did a drain and a fill. And you can take it somewhere to do this. There's a lot of instant oil change places will even do CVT transmission services. Subaru, I was gonna say, in some of their transmissions, their CVTs, they say it's lifetime fluid. They say never change this transmission fluid. I don't buy that at all. You have to do it. Like, sure, your thing might last. I've heard anecdotal evidence. Oh yeah, I've gone X many miles and I've never changed it. Sure, okay, but is it gonna be better for your vehicle to just do it? And then Honda's known to be reliable, right? They recommend 30,000 mile intervals on their CVT transmissions. So you're telling me that you have Subaru has such a superior engineering advantage that they just never need to service it? I don't buy that. Like, there's no chance. There is no chance. So if you want to be safe and if you're keeping your car for a long time, which I'm all for, that's my whole thing, is I want people to be able to keep their car for as long as possible and have the least amount of hassle with it. Do it every 30K. It is a small price to pay. You know, you might pay a few $100 to a shop to change your transmission fluid out. Or if you do it yourself, it might be half of that for the actual fluid. It's really that easy. I don't know if I covered all the bases here, but let me know if you have any questions or if I missed anything, or if you think I'm not right or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you could go without doing it, sure, but who knows? You don't have that peace of mind, and that's how I look at it too. So, all right, have a good day. Make another one about manual transmissions and differentials and stuff like that. Stay tuned. I love you forever.